What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Bianconerizonechannel live. First time I've been doing it in a while, which I feel like I say that every single time we do a live together. But with me today, as always, is my friend Alejandro Vincello. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. It's a good day.
I imagine a lot of what we're going to be doing today is really going to be talking a lot of our feelings on tattoos on players and how they're doing there. But there's some serious news that broke, or not, I guess broke or whatever, rumors, news, however you want to call it, floated out today that we need to talk about, especially the situation with Alvaro Morata.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have not been able to. I was working between noon and now, so I haven't been able to see your latest video. But I heard you were pretty, or at least you told me that you were pretty raring to go in that one.
Yeah. It's a plus 30-minute daily video. So,
Holy crap! Is it really that long?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that one out. I guess if you want to give me a little bit of a preview, we'll say when I say that, let's kind of get into the news for the day. If you want to lay it out for us, just to start off the show, and then we'll take it from there. What do you think? Where do you want to start with this? Do you want to start this on the Morata side, the Barca side, the
Phew.
pie? Which part?
I think, oh my God. Like, that's why I took 30 minutes because there's so many angles in this one.
Mhm.
So, wait, let's start with Morata because, like, it all starts with Morata because reportedly he agreed to join Barca. He's okay with it. That's might sound weird mid-season, especially from a player like Morata, but he knows that he's gone in the summer, and that like this news makes that clear. That's maybe positive for us, so we know he's done in the summer. He's not staying, and he wants to leave for Barca because they could offer him a permanent deal. That's that. So I get his perspective. I'm only surprised that he like that Morata's like I understand that, but it's still surprising for a player like Morata. In my opinion, I'm quite shocked to be honest because I never expected it from him to accept that mid-season, especially when he's feeling great at us. Like I never heard any rumors about it, but I understand why he wants to do that. So that's Morata's side. Barcelona side, I have no idea what they're thinking. Like because the report are saying they want a scoring striker. Well, he's not really that. Let's be honest. This season, he scored, but like it's not a scoring striker. His numbers are not good. So I don't understand Barca's perspective to be honest. To do that mid-season. Then Depay, well, Romeo said it, and I said it in my video. The club is not convinced, and with the club I mean Allegri. Otherwise, the deal would have been done by now. Like it would have been close to being done because if Juve tell Atletico, yeah, you can have him back, and Atletico get the guarantee from Barca that they're gonna pay the money, it's a done. It's a done deal. Only thing missing is a good price for Depay to get Depay. So that's that. That's basically the news from our perspectives. The only perspective missing is Depay. Like it was his dream to join Barca. He joined because Koeman was there. Koeman got sacked. He's faded out. He got injured, so he didn't even have the opportunity to prove himself under the new coach Xavi, and they are basically throwing him on the streets. So we haven't heard any rumors or I don't know talk about Depay. So we don't even know how he's feeling about all this. But I can imagine not happy. So those are all the perspectives basically. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I think I was coughing or something. Um, anyway, let's start here. Here's where I kind of want to go with the beginning. So I'll be honest, I'm not gonna battle you per se, but one of the things I kind of have a disagreement with you on is a little bit of you saying about the perspective of Morata that everything's like fine here. Is that kind of what you're saying, or
No,
what
no.
do you when you say that? Well,
I,
yeah, explain that.
so I I still like the club didn't want to move him on in January at the end of the season. So I'm not saying yeah it's okay what he's doing, but I understand what he's doing. I really do because he's playing football within his mind. They don't even want me here. I'm just here
Yeah,
because I need to be here. And then Barca comes with an offer and they tell you, we believe in you and we're going to sign you on a 3-year, 4-year deal. That's job security, basically. That's uh, having a
Oh
future.
yeah.
So I understand that. I'm not saying it's okay what he's doing, but as I said many times, it's a business. Like the club is quick enough to throw anyone on the street. So why would the players be loyal?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay, see, I had misinterpreted. I think I took it kind of more as like your opinion was Morata's got he's got a great ear. I'm like, everything I'm hearing left and right and everything I'm talking about in every daily video we do is basically crapping on Morata and
Yeah,
saying, yeah, we know you're done. Let's finish out this season. We're not going to keep you. We don't care. We'll move on from there. Especially when obviously you're just kind of hearing the rumors, the Vlahovic, which we can get into that part a little bit later as well. But just hearing, all the rumors of just basically every Juventus fan out there fawning over his replacement
yeah,
is what we have here.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it makes sense to me for him to want it, like you said, job security. You at least have, if Barcelona is offering 3 to 4 years, that's 3 to 4 years of salary that you have that you can add on there and think about for your family.
Yeah.
Which again, we talked about this on one of the lives I did. Actually, it was the thing with Giuseppe that we did for the bullying thing and talk about his situation where Morata, of anybody that I feel like I see out there, gets crapped on more than a lot of well, it's not, maybe not more than all players, but he gets on a lot, even from his own national fans. He gets a lot of some disgusting things said about him. But the most important thing I know about Morata is that, which is also maybe a little detrimental to him and how much he cares about playing for the actual team, is just and this is such a weird thing to say because I'm a dad, but like it's just like he's so focused on his family. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So sometimes that can be a little bit of a barrier. Doesn't mean you can't be, but it does. It's obviously his competitive side when it comes to playing for Juventus is not. It's not in his priority, which is fine, but it also means that your tenure here is not going to last.
No, and I saw
So.
Dan Barile saying, I know Romeo is the most reliable, but don't believe everything he says about transfer news. Dan texts us on Instagram stories, and that's fine. That's great. Like, I love to have a talk, but I know how Dan thinks. He wants to believe what he wants, but not the actual news. Like, and we all are like that sometimes. We don't want to hear Vlahovic is not coming, but Romeo is Romeo. Like, he's better than Sky or random Instagram accounts making up a lot of fake news. With the Vlahovic thing from in the last week was a report from Vlahovic reported by Sky Italia, which was fake. Sky Italia never reported that. Even Di Marzio came out saying it's fake news. Like, it gets spread out really quickly. Nobody fact checks things. I watched Sky Italia and I said it to Dan. That news never popped up. You don't need to believe everything you see on Instagram because there's a lot of crap on Instagram without any good sources. Sometimes without even a source. Just put it out there.
And I think most of our viewers that tune in here and watch us, our daily videos and all that stuff, understand. And we're pretty upfront with what we do here. We talk about the latest rumors and news and whatever have you. I think we obviously know not everything is going to be concrete, but also that's part of what we do. If we didn't talk about the rumors, we would have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Like until the games are being played. So there really would be. That's what we do here. There's a little bit of nonsense, but at the same time, the way it's at some point you have to be able to determine it for yourself. You have to actually be able to sit down and be like, does this make sense? And the way I kind of tend to do it, and obviously it's easier me doing these shows, doing the daily whatever videos, is if I'm hearing this news story repeated multiple times by at least Romeo Grassi is not going to comment on it until it's something serious. Usually, I feel like at least in my
100%, 100%, and that's why, like this morning, I woke up as usual. I just read the newspapers and the news from outside of Italy. I just read on Tutto Juve and stuff like that. So not actual newspapers, but they're very reliable if they get news from other newspapers. So I read the news and it was on Marca. And I was like, am I going to put this out on the account? Like, I'm not sure. Like, it sounded bullshit. Like, it sounded what? Like, this doesn't make sense. And then, like, the moment I was going to translate everything onto the account, Romeo came out and said it's true, and then the day moved on, and basically Romeo came up with more things, saying Morata told the club that he agreed and that he wants to join, but it's not going to make a big problem if it's not possible. Like, he's not going to throw his toys out of the pram. Like, if it doesn't happen, because it's a difficult deal to do. It is, because we own Morata until the end of the season, so it's not easy. Like, and also it's January. It's not the summer. We play on Thursday against Napoli. And Depay's not even fit. So you let Morata go, and then you have big games in January, and you don't have a striker. Yeah, you have Keane, but like that's not hopeful. Like, it's what it is. That's true at the moment. That's the truth at the moment. So it's very risky, because the talks were always, we want a striker on top of Morata, and now but the talks are, we are replacing a striker for another striker, but a completely different type of striker. A striker, I said it before when I saw the news, I'm like, that's not an Allegri player at the moment with this squad. He wants a striker, and then Romeo said the same thing. He wants a striker, like a real number 9, and that's not Depay. I saw people say maybe he's a replacement for Dybala. I hope not. Then I rather pay Dybala 10 than Depay 8, because he's on 8. So I rather do that. So I hope not. But I don't think it's gonna happen for so many reasons. I said it in my daily video, and the main reason is Allegri. He doesn't like him, and I said it before. You need to give the coach what he wants. Otherwise, it's gonna be a mess, because he's gonna get players like Arthur in the squad he doesn't want, but he needs to use him because he's not getting anyone else. Because we don't have the money. We don't have how do you want to say, the possibility to even sell those players. So that's a big problem. Enzo says on the left, what about Chiesa? What about Chiesa? You can put Chiesa on the left. What about Dybala? Play him in a 4-4-2. That's like, Chiesa will ask to leave if he needs to play in a 4-4-2 on the left. He's not going to do that, or he's going to do that, but it will look kind of crappy. So there's so many questions, and it's big news. I don't like it, to be honest. I like the fact that Morata's probably going to leave. No, he is going to leave in the summer. But for now, I don't want him to leave. I just want an extra striker. Unless it's not happening, unless the club says, ta-da, here's Vlahovic. Then, fine. But it's not happening, so I don't want it.
Hear me out. What I want to do here is I kind of want to work through this process a little bit, because I'm still trying to fact find and figure out how this came about. So I guess, obviously, the talks are done with agents and stuff behind the scenes. Do you take it as, when it comes to the Morata situation, just the fact that it's not just a Barca are interested in Morata, period. It's they're interested in Morata here and now in January, in this January Mercado. And Morata's pushing for it, or would like it to happen.
Yeah, he would like.
Do you view it as it's an opportunity that arose from Morata? It was a surprising one, but a good one, or do you view it as like this is expedited for a reason? It needs to happen now. Morata feels like, and Barca maybe that they have that need. They want to fill that in January, but also Morata feels like, hey, this needs to be expedited now, because say Juve are going to bring in a guy who's going to be taking my minutes. Does that make sense? Or that's going to be replacing me here immediately.
I think my opinion is like, it's solely job security, like having a future set. I think that's that, and also at a good club. Like, they're in a difficult moment, but they pay 55 million euros for Ferran Torres, a bench player at City. So, like Raiola said, they find a way to get the money. So they will be back at the top very soon. So in his mind is, I'm going to go to Barca for a few years. And if I'm not going to do that now, what's going to happen with me once I go back to Atletico and maybe nobody wants me and I get loaned out to Sevilla or stuff like that? Like, it's a big opportunity for him. So I understand that from his perspective, but it just came out of nowhere. Like, it was so quiet, and that's basically the last news we expected to receive. And Mr. Dax said, "Are you guys reading the comments?" We do, and we will read out some more. But like at the start of the channel, when we just started, it was easy. It wasn't a lot. You're with a lot now, which we like. But if you want to keep the conversation, it's not easy to read everything out. But we will read out some comments.
I'd say we're gonna read comments, but I think the way that we also want to do. Here's the problem with me. To be honest, I am very easily distracted. I also am not hosting this right now. Usually I was in right. Usually I'm well, at least until lately, I've usually like hosted it, so it was easier for me to pick through it. Right now, you're the Alejandro's the one hosting, but then also Dax, we want to keep things as organized as possible because we try to have a rhythm to this. So we do the normal talking, we get through our main topics, and then we can kind of hit the questions in the second half of it. And I think that's probably an easier way, especially if you're watching this on the replay. If you're watching this on a replay, it makes it kind of a bit confusing, or it's too all over the place if you're replaying it and you're not actively participating. That makes sense. But thanks, Davide.
What I was saying is, so besides, like, even if Allegri said I like Depay, I still like. His goal scoring record this season isn't great. Also, he comes off from an injury, so even if he was fit, he's not having his best seasons. So you bring him in, that doesn't guarantee you goals immediately mid-season. So that's why the plan was to keep Morata and add someone else, like play Morata and bring him in the next one, or the new guy. Just bring him in and hope he clicks, hope he scores goals. But if you get rid of Morata and you bring in Depay, he's gonna be the main guy immediately mid-season in January when we have big games. Like we have Napoli, we have Roma, we have Milan, Inter in the Supercoppa, probably not because that game is gonna be moved. But still, big games, important games. So it's a difficult situation. And I saw people say, this is your chance to get rid of Morata. Well, he's gone in a few months either way, so it's not like a sale. You don't need
an opportunity. He's on an Aaron Ramsey situation. He's way better. He's way better of a player, but also he's just we're not buying him. That's it, and then it's done. It's done at the end of the year. It's not you don't have any urgency to get rid of this player.
That's right. And also he's actually playing because Ramsey's not playing. He's injured, but even if he was injured, we have better players in front of him. We don't have better players than Morata. So, replacing him with someone, he needs to be immediately impacting, direct impact. Like he needs to come in and he needs to score goals immediately mid-season. So that's also not easy. So I understand why the club is really, really really struggling about taking a decision now. I think they're in the All or Nothing documentary, you can see how they do transfers. I think they're just kind of confused at the moment because they always say we just want a loan. We want a loan. And maybe if Barcelona says you can have Depay on loan until the end of the season, maybe the club says yes. I still would think that's wrong. I still I'm not Morata's biggest fan, but I'm just saying keep him until the season and try to add someone on loan. I know it's difficult, but I think that's the best way. And even me saying it and knowing what we know about Morata this season, it sounds weird saying it, but I'm not sure about Depay. And I said it before, if the moment the coach has doubts about a player, it's starting on the wrong foot. For me, it's already throw it away, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I guess my question is, do you think that if you were to bring in Depay, first off, how has he been at Barcelona? I haven't watched a lick of Barcelona. Do we know? I can pull up the stats, I guess.
Who?
How is Memphis? How has he been playing?
I don't know. If 6 goals and 4 assists. He started off amazing. Then he dropped off. He picked up an injury. He missed 6 or 7 games now. He's expected to be back in the first week of January, maybe. So yeah.
Is it an injury problem or is it just a
No, because
problem?
I saw some comments saying, "Oh, another injury-prone player," and I'm like, because I used to watch him when he was playing in the Dutch league, because I watch the Dutch league, it's fun, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him getting injured that much, so I looked it up, and he never got injured. Only at Lyon I don't know what, he torn something, and he was out for half of the season, but like that's a fluke. And now he was back. He picked it up last season. He had an amazing season at Lyon. And now he picked up, I think, a hamstring injury. So he missed like
Yeah.
6 games. But like overall, if you take out the way the Achilles injury or the torn injury, I don't know what he torn, then
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty clean. But
Yeah.
he torn something. So it's yeah, like I torn something. So I know it's not 100%. It's loose anyway. Like it's never gonna be the same. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So that's also in the club's mind, I think. But he's 27. Like he's not old. I saw someone saying, "Oh, he's old." Like this is the prime years. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Allegri likes him. And then for me, like it already stops for me. Like I'm not. Like I don't like if a coach needs to play a player he doesn't like, because I can tell you now it's not. It's never gonna look pretty.
Yeah. Uh, well, okay. Let me see. There's one question. Somebody was asking if there was any information on any
Yeah,
kind of
Hanin.
the loan
It
situation.
was Hanin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hanin was asking. Uh,
So no.
I
I
yeah.
saw someone saying, but like the source is not good enough. It's not good enough. But they were saying the Barca are open to let him go on a loan. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Mhm.
So let's see. But for now, like that's what I said. Like we didn't even heard anything coming from Depay's management, leaks and stuff. Like nothing. So it's very, very strange. Like it's a very strange situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I don't fully I don't buy into it. It looks like some. I mean, it's probably not happening. Does that seem? Am
For
I right in
me,
saying
no.
that?
Like it's too difficult unless the club tomorrow wakes up and they say, yeah, we take the pie, and the pie says, yeah, I think then everything
Mm-hmm.
can be wrapped up really quickly. It's still
Yeah.
difficult because we have so many parties. Like Atletico needs to agree, they need to agree with Barca, they need to agree with Juve. Like probably Juve will say we were not gonna, like, we're not even paying half of what we should be paying this season and stuff like that. Like, and what will we pay for Depay, blah blah blah. But if Juve says yes and Depay says yes, I think it could be done relatively quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then and here's my other question though: is say you bring on Depay for whatever period of time, how does that also affect? Does that I mean, what does that do for your prospects of bringing in other
Yeah,
players long term? Does
that's
that
my
affect
main. Yeah,
even
yeah,
outside of Vlahovic, like even Skamaka?
yeah.
And
That's
whatever people feel about him.
yeah. That's true. That's a good point because I brought that up at on the daily video. I'm like, what does this mean for the future, long term? Like, that's why
Mm-hmm.
again I will repeat it. Just bring in players the coach wants. Otherwise, like you cannot get stuck with Depay for 3 years if Allegri doesn't even want him or doesn't really gonna use him the way he should be used. Like it doesn't make sense. So yeah, like it's kind of I don't know. It's not a situation how you want to enter the year with a few days before an important game, like because it doesn't really make sense to be honest. Like in the summer, this would have made sense if you even if you owned Morata, of course. But now in
Yeah.
January, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird on so many levels because like there was never a hint of Morata wanting to leave. Because also were some reports that he's not completely happy, which is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not be happy? You're the main guy. You're not playing good. That's on you. That's like you're missing sitters. That's not on the coach or
I
on the
mean,
team. So I don't know.
I'd say he's not happy though because he's on a time limit. He's literally on.
Okay, yeah,
The clock's ticking.
that
4 or 5
I
months.
understand. I understand. Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
so
put
that's
up.
all I could say. It's like yeah, you could be fine being the guy for like I said a short period of time, but then after that, if you don't have a landing spot, you're SOL.
Yeah.
So that's my personal opinion.
Also, like the video, guys. 42 watching, only 70 likes. I will read out some comments now. Because
yeah.
I neglected. Let me see. Enzo say we're just gonna act like Chiesa isn't better on the right. He is. But what are you going to do with Dybala and Depay? Are you gonna play him as in a 4-4-2 on the right with under Allegri? You know what that means, and that means you're not gonna be happy with what you're gonna see or what you're gonna get from Chiesa. The output won't be there. He will be defensively minded first, and that's not what I want from Chiesa. I don't think that's like even Chiesa doesn't want that. Eagle Eye, apparently Lukaku isn't happy at Chelsea. I don't care. I don't care.
Home at Juve brings up one point that I want to say. They said that Depay is a pen merchant. He's not a goal scorer. Hey, if you can get penalties, you're scoring penalties.
I don't care.
You just have to be able to get them. If you can get to the line, I don't care at this point.
Like Vlahovic has 10 almost in 21. Ronaldo had like one season at 16. I don't care. If you score them, you score them.
Yeah.
Mohamed is saying, I'm actually starting to hate Allegri just because of the players he wants. I don't blame him for now because I don't see it. Like, I want a number 9, period. Like, get me a player that will score 20 goals only in Serie A year in, year out. That's all I want. That's what a top club should be having, period. And that, for me, that's not Depay either. So I understand Allegri wanting different things. I understand that. And to be honest, I said I'm not the biggest Depay fan because in the summer we were linked with him before he signed with Barcelona, if you remember, because he was on a free. And even then, the club was a bit iffy. Like, I'm not his biggest fan. On his day, he's very good, but I'm not his biggest fan. So yeah, home if you will listed up a bunch of names, which like that's what like in January. There's nothing in January. It's like you need to take what you're gonna get offered, and this is what you're gonna get offered. So yeah.
I'm also laughing because Bone is like, Ale, why do Barca want Morata? He's been yelling this like all day, since we started this.
I don't know. I said it before. Like, I have no idea because the report are saying they want a goal scoring striker. Well, that's not Morata, so I don't know. On Holy Fun is saying, for me, if we take Depay, we're making the same mistakes again. We take only easy players, Better Kulu on the right, and Chiesa on the left. Like I said it in my daily. I called it the same mistakes in terms of the club. Allegri isn't a fan of him, and if you bring him in, it's pointless for me. It's just pointless. And Stephanie made a good point. He said Juventus needs someone plus Depay is out with need someone now. Plus Depay is out with a hamstring injury. We don't need another Ramsey. He's not another Ramsey. Like Ramsey is next level injury. Like it's his thing.
But the thing is, you don't need to start off with somebody who's already injured and see what happens from there. Like
if you let Morata go, if you let Morata go, you need someone. And if he's not fit, it doesn't make sense.
Here's my thing. Real quick, who was, let's see, Up North Production brought up, I want to talk a little bit about Vlahovic too for a sec. In just a sec, I'll let you talk about your thing first before we move on to him. But I guess kind of like my situation where the way I look at it is if these are the options we have, and like I said, we'll talk about Vlahovic. If Vlahovic is off the table, like to me at this point, I mean, I kind of be fine with just making a move for Scamacca if it's possible. Yeah, Am I wrong in that?
I get that, but Sassuolo are not selling. Romeo said it, like they're not selling in January. They're not. Yeah. So that's off the table. And if you in January you're gonna overpay. So so no. For me,
so we just need to sit our happy ass down and hold on to Morata till June, really.
Yeah. And then Mr. Dax said something, but I don't really understand. Are players' salaries based on their history as a player? Like what they have earned, achieved individually? Oh, as a team, why are players' salaries so high even when they're old or been out the whole season? Well, that's the market. It's how it is. Like it's not going to change unless it completely collapse all over the world. It's not going to change. It's only going to go up and going crazier, even more crazy. Also, we the fans, we pay, we accept everything. We accept high ticket prices, new Sky, DAZN, they boost up their prices. We keep paying it without any hesitations. So there's more money, and you know what that means. Players will ask for more money, which is, yeah, if there's more money, I will ask the same. Like, why not?
Yeah.
So, um, so that's that.
I mean, like with Dax's question, yeah, basically players are their salaries are all based on everything you're talking about is what they're based on. It's how much the value
Yeah.
is, what they bring in, what they've accomplished, it's a lot of it's potential. I mean, any kind of professional sports are usually based on potential.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting them to get to the next level. Usually they don't do it, but every once in a while you get a guy like that. But yeah, as long as you and me and Ale and Julian, whoever, are willing to watch and pay for tickets or pay for shirts or whatever have you, those prices are just going to keep going up. They're going to keep making more and more money, even if they don't do anything. That's the way the world works.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Like, yeah, that's true. So I don't know, if I know my boss has a lot of money and he can spend that money, I will ask for more money. Period. So yeah, again, it came out of nowhere. On Holy Fun asked me if I would take Sule on a dry loan until the summer. No, I would take him. I would have taken him in the summer, but not mid-season, because like he's not having a good season at Chelsea. He's hardly playing, and then he needs to change teams again mid-season to come at us. I don't think on loan. So even he doesn't know what his future is. I don't. I'm not a fan of that situation, but I like him as a player. But he's going through a difficult period. He's not playing well. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah.
Top 4 or Barcelona style next season? I don't know. Let's see.
Guys, we're reading your chats now, and I just gotta say, I'm pretty pissed right now with the like number. I just think it's ridiculous. We gotta get these likes up. Like I said, go in your grandmother's room next door, hit her, take her phone, hit the like button, whatever you gotta do, get these likes up for us. That's all we ask. Just hit the like button. That's all you gotta do.
And David
Anyway,
made a good
sorry, go
point.
ahead.
He said if Julian continues to buy Ramsey jerseys, the market will continue to make no sense. That's a fact.
Yep.
So let Julian know. Stop buying jerseys of crap players.
And I have a
Timothy is saying, I think Skamaka had one more goal than Morata this season. Why don't we make this gamble? Let Morata go and get Skamaka. We don't make this gamble because we don't have money to gamble. Like, we don't have the money to pay Sassuolo now. So that's basically everything. Like, Sassuolo are saying no. But if you go to Sassuolo now and say we're going to give you 40 million euros for Skamaka, they're going to sign that deal within seconds. But we don't have 40 million. We don't even have, we don't have money, period. That's it. We don't have money.
No.
So
that's why we sit here and our options are so limited. So every time we talk about a new name gets popped up, and I'm like, what are we doing? Why is this name? What are we doing? Unless we're gonna get rid of or let a couple guys go, there's no option. You're looking at one or two guys, tops, a midfielder and whatever. But then say the nonsense with Delict continues happening, then you're gonna have to look at a defender, and then there's a lot moving along there. Thank you guys. Appreciate the likes. Thank you for getting them up by 10 there. Yeah. Homo Juve says we're about to hit 2K. Yeah, we're at 1,943 right now. So 57 more and we'll hit 2K, which is
we're gonna hit that
nice.
Before mid-January. We'll hit that. But so yeah, what I want to say was
yeah, buddy.
What I want to say was, what was I want to say? Oh, the Vlahovic thing, because I was watching Romeo and he was on Juventus, which is also a big channel. Check them out if you speak Italian or understand Italian. And he said, because he was asked about Vlahovic, and he said, I think it's very difficult, even in the summer. I find it difficult for that to happen. So, and that's, how do you want to say that? That's a big blow for us, as fans, because we all want a top striker. Take Vlahovic out of the options, it's Skamaka. And I know people are high on Skamaka, and that's fine. I'm not at the moment. And if I'm wrong, I will sit here and I will say I'm wrong. Good for us, because that means he's doing his thing, and that's good for the team and good for me as a fan. But for now, being linked with Skamaka, I'm not getting excited about that, because Like he has never, he never scored like 10 goals in Serie A. So, and he needs to come in and he needs to be that guy in Serie A, in Europe, trying to kind of carry this team into being dominant again out of nowhere. That would be insane if he comes from Sassuolo from 5 goals. Like, I don't know, 1 goal a season, 5 goals a season. Maybe he ends with 10 this year, and next season he banks in 20, 21. And in Champions League, like 5 or like that. 5 is a lot already. Like, I don't see that happening with Scamacca. I just don't see it. So that's the worrying part. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Great. That means he's doing his thing, and that's good for us. But for now, the Vlahovic news, the comments, yeah.
Personally, I'm torn. Yeah. The Vlahovic, if that ends up being the way it goes, I mean, to me, it kind of ends up falling to, it's almost like a Scamacca by default situation, because there's really not a lot of names out there outside of old washed up dudes or injury prone players that like you can go for. And I'm almost, I don't know, maybe this is just me being, I don't want to say negative, but me being a little bit, I don't know, just maybe giving in a little bit and being like, maybe it's time to get a younger guy like this an opportunity. Maybe it's the time to do that, because otherwise, what else what are our options right now? Besides sticking with Morata, which is pretty apparent is not going to happen.
Because
I think by even now his own choosing.
Yeah, I saw a comment from Bobby, and I hope he's just trying to wind me up here. And he said, "Good evening, guys. We could approach Serie B top scorer Gianluca Lapadula, cheap, and he can score probably better than what we have right now." He's not. Like, he played a Serie A. He's shit. Like, he found his level. Serie B. That's it. He's an awful player. Like, he's just bad, period. So no, I'd rather play Bernardeschi as a number 9 for the entire season than bring in Lapadula. And Dax asking why Barcelona can find money, because they have loans, bank loans. It's allowed in Spain. And he also said they ain't that much bigger than Juve. Well, I'm a Juve fan, but they are. Like, let's be real over here. They are. Revenue-wise, fans over the world-wise, they're much bigger. That's maybe not trophy-wise, even though they have more Champions League, but fan base-wise and revenue-wise, that's what we are talking about. Revenue, money, they are much better. And Andrew Finnan is asking about Dembele, because I saw that, and it's fake news. I've not reported anything on the channel about it, because I read the reports and I was like, no chance. He's asking for plus 10 million euros. He's injured all the time. The club's not doing that. And Romeo just said it's fake really quickly. It's just fake news. We're not paying Dembele 12 million euros when he has a worse injury record than Ramsey.
Yeah.
So it's fake.
Also, shout out to Bobby. Bobby's been here with Homie Juve, everybody else who has since day one as well. So I appreciate Bobby for tuning into the live today. Desperate times calls for desperate measures is what he said.
I'm not that desperate. I'm desperate, but not like I'm not that desperate.
We're getting close, but not there yet. But at this point, also Unholy Phone was asking Justin Alla, any Twitch news, waiting for gaming streams.
Julian wants to do that, but well, he needs to find out his setup, because he's, I don't know if I need to say it. Maybe he's moving soon from house, so it's still early. And if you want to do that, it needs to be good from the first time. So maybe we will start doing that from next season when we set up the main channel now. Then we move on to other things.
Here's my question. First off, Haneen, you delete that crap right now.
I think anyway. Oh my God.
Yeah, she better be joking with us. Anyway, but also, okay, my question is this: if you want to do like gaming streams, is it only going to be FIFA, or is it going to be any games?
No, if it's on Twitch, it can be any games.
Okay, I was gonna say, because like I haven't played FIFA in a little while now. Like, I don't have time with a kid, so when I do play games, it's usually other games, because I'm just gonna get my ass waxed every time, because there's people that just play it nonstop.
That's fun.
But yeah, it's not fun for me. It's not fun for me to get beat. But yeah, so there's be some other games I play. Yeah, Stephanie, exactly. I don't want to get beat. As soon as I get out there, our members will go there and just get my ass kicked game in, game out. And
Homophobe asking the Keane thing, we are, because we agreed on it. I said it. I wasn't on the channel when he signed Keane. I was just behind the scenes, but I was like, that's a lot of money. Like, I have nothing against Keane, but that was just, we hit desperate mode button the moment Ronaldo cleaned
Yep.
up his locker room, and we are overpaying for Keane. It's a fact. It's a big mistake. Again, if he picks up his form in the season before he left, it's still a lot of money, but I can kind of forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, if he scores 12 league goals, 13 league goals, as not even the main one, I will be over the moon already. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it looks like he's not even hitting 6 goals this season in Serie A, the way he's playing.
Yeah.
So that's why. Like, if he was having the same season or the same impact as he had before he left, then nobody would really be talking about the price. It's still a lot of money, but we will kind of forget about it. But at the moment, well, we have seen Keane play. It looks really bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's what it is. It looks really, really bad. At times, it looks like he is not even a Serie A football this season. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know, because there's no reports about that saying he's struggling. Like, you hear nothing about Keane, so that's also kind of weird.
Part of it makes me, I understand he was playing for PSG, but also part of me makes me wonder, like, maybe we really need to, like, take into consideration, like, how much poorer maybe the French league is, when it comes to, like, this is how he was producing there.
Yeah, but he
Maybe,
was playing with world-class players at PSG. Like, they were scoring goals for fun, so it's kind of easy, and people are asking to respond to Mo's comment, but I don't see it. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll read it. I got it. Oh, yeah, okay.
No, we said, when will we have money again? And when we have money, will we return to our 2016 spending habits and buy players like Milinkovic, Savic, Pogba, and Vlahovic? When we have money, yes, because before the pandemic, we were paying 100 million euros for Pogba, and he was coming back, while we had Ronaldo and De Ligt on the books on big money. So if we have the money, we can do that. But with Arriva Bene now in it, it's not really likely we're just gonna throw away money anytime soon. But we need to recover from this how you want to call it, from this pandemic. Yeah, Lexum is here. Free Morata. He was taking the piss of Morata a few weeks ago, I remember. But hey, good for him. Hey
guys, can you get us to 40 likes? I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, I think where was it? Somebody said it. I think a lot. Oh yeah, well, I guess just going off of Mohammed's comment, there are a lot of factors though. Also, obviously you're in a pandemic situation, but then eventually, and this is an issue everywhere. Like, I know Juventus fans are making a big deal of it. When you look at the last couple games and the stadium's empty. But this is an issue all over. But the problem is you're losing a lot of money when people don't buy tickets and people don't go to games. They're not, spending all that as well. So I feel like there's so many little pieces that have to get back to where they were. They really have to fit in before you have that. And then also, how much does it also need to come to Juventus producing talent themselves?
Yeah.
To end up, being able to sell.
100%. That's true. That's true. And that's what we talked about. Like, this is the moment to try to introduce some new players in the squad, and maybe if they make it, they make it, and that's what we need now. Wait, I'm gonna respond to Morton's question. Thanks for joining, as always, because he's always here. So that's nice. He said, any other player in Europe who are at least on the level of Scamacca but cheaper, Netherlands, Belgium, or on the same money, and I think a higher level is Jonathan David from Lille. And wow, you can text Julian, he will talk about it for hours. So that's his guy, but I prefer him. Maybe I'm biased because I've seen him play in the Belgium league before he joined Lille, but he's doing fantastic at Lille, who kind of started off bad this season, but they're moving up the table also thanks to him. So that's my pick. In Belgium, there's nothing out there at the moment. Striker wise, there isn't. In the Netherlands, I don't know. I saw today a report we were linked with Anthony from Ajax. I think we have no chance of getting in. I like him, but he is more likely going to Liverpool or Bayern because they have the money. So I think the main problem with Scamacca is his price tag. It's 40 mil. Like, if it was 25, I think people will just be okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, 25, but 40 million euros. That's a lot of money for a striker who's not really scoring goals. And what are we saying after every game? We need goals. So it doesn't really add up. Nothing adds up at the moment, to be honest. And also, going back on the Morata thing, it needs to be resolved before we play Napoli. Because like it's too important January. It's too big to mess up. Like we need to be on our A game on Thursday moving forward. Like we need to pick up points because again, I don't want to disrespect any other team because like we've seen we struggle against any team. But if you make it out in January respectively, like you pick up the points you need to pick up, then you have a stretch of easy games. And then you can make top 4, and we need to make top 4. So this needs to be resolved. Yeah. I hope before Thursday, because Giovanni Albanese said something. He said, "We will know before the Inter game. Allegri will not make a decision before the Inter game. He wants to evaluate Morata." I'm like, what? He's been playing for us like for 6 months. He knows him from years back. Like that comment, I respect him because he's a journalist. But that comment didn't make any sense. Why does he need 3 games more to see Morata play? Like, wasn't he watching when he was playing this season? I don't know. Like, he knows what it is. So I think that was a real weird statement. I think the club is just not convinced about Depay or any other options out there because it's not just a dry loan. It's always been an option. Hanina said, what would Jonathan David go for? 50 mil? I would say 45, 40 with some bonuses. But yeah, it will be something like that. So I don't know if we are in for
I just want to interject real quick. I was waiting for you because you're on a roll and you had some good comments there. Yeah. I timed out Lixum, but the reason I timed him out was not. It just happened to fall at the same time that he made a bald comment. It was not because of that. It was just all the other comments. That does not bother me. But I just wanted to get ahead of that. But anyway, yeah. So I just it is a bit frustrating though because like you say, all this stuff is happening. And then what happens if we're stuck here in June, July with no options? And then you lose Morata. So you got Muziken and you got Bernadeschi at the 9.
Yeah. Like I've read so many things and like from all the name, like like nothing, like every link, there's a downside to it. You know what I mean? Like there's always something in the back of your mind saying, yeah, this is not really what we need, or this is not really gonna help us in the long term. Even a quick fix, it's not it. So, like, it's like I don't know what to say, to be honest, because I made the daily video because then it was fresh in my head. So like I read the news all day long, and then Romeo was coming out with things and I was like, this is not good. Like every news, like with every minute passing, everything was coming out. It got worse in my opinion. Like, and yeah, the market ends at the end of January for us in Italy. Tested positive for COVID. The Winter, Sule, the Graka. Yeah, but like they're not playing games for us. They're just in the and now Chiesa, and Dybala are back. So Sule was not even being called up now. He will train with the first team about calling up now. Yeah.
Are we okay to say that term now?
No, not really.
Like on the channel?
Not really.
Okay. Okay. I was like, is that clear? I don't know. I've seen other people do it, but yeah, I'd rather just be safe than sorry. I guess, okay, well, let's talk about this real quick. Appreciate you, Juve Talk, and everybody else who's in here. Also, I asked for 40 likes. We're 2 likes away. Who the hell can't do 2 more likes? Come on. My question is about so where does Vlahovic sit? Does it seem, because there were so many rumors, heck, it almost, okay, there were 2 things this week. The last week or so, it almost feels like the news cycle is orchestrated. And I'm sure it is to a point.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Where I feel like the whole Skamaka thing felt like a journey. And that's why I brought it up in the daily video where I was like, literally, Monday you have the Scamacca, maybe Juventus is interested or whatever the exact terminology they use. Then it was like all in for Scamacca. And then the next day, like clockwork was, oh, Inter are actually going to be in for Scamacca, and that's where he's going to go. And then it's like nobody can really get Scamacca. But then the same kind of crap with Vlahovic, where it's like the day before was literally Vlahovic basically has given his preference to Juventus. And then it's I think literally the next day, less than 24 hours, less than a whole 24-hour news cycle away from that, and it's basically JK Vlahovic should actually rather go to the Premier League.
Yeah, but from all the I would say the good sources, who for me are Romeo and Nico Shira, who I do respect at the moment because he picked it up big time the last 2 years. So those two, Di Marzio and Romeo said basically they don't see it happening because of the cost of the operation. And Nico Shiro said, yeah, the cost is a lot of money, but they agreed terms with Vlahovic. Like they agreed terms on a deal a long way back. Like it's still an agreement on the deal. It's just for us to generate the money. But like that's for the summer. And a lot of things can change. Like the Morata thing came out of nowhere. And that's what I mean. A lot of things can change. Like it's out of nowhere. Like let's be honest. Who on earth expected this news? Nobody. Like there was not even a hint about Morata leaving in January possibly. Or even Barcelona being interesting. It's just out of nowhere. So that shows how quick things can change. Like really quickly. Because remember the Chiesa? When we got him? Like it only heated up the last week and a half or something. It was always, maybe they will go for Chiesa. Maybe if they get in a striker first and blah, blah, blah. And all those things. And then the last week, it was like boom, boom, boom. And he signed. Like also kind of out of nowhere. Because it was kind of out of nowhere. So,
well,
yeah.
Yeah. He was kind of I call it BS, but the little, maybe if you're lucky, maybe if you're good, there'll be a surprise for Juve fans at the end kind of thing. Yeah. And that's how it was played out. It was like, if they can sell people, but if not, you guys will just sit in it for another year. But yeah, that's the way that one played out. I forget because I think last Mercado was so just designated. Like you knew where it was going.
Yeah.
You knew it was just Locatelli, and you knew nothing else was really happening. And only because of the Ronaldo BS did Moise Kean come in. But Kyle George was Kyle George. It was just, but no offense, Kyle George didn't excite me. It wasn't one of those that really I paid a lot of attention to. It was like, oh, if they get that guy for what, $6 million or whatever it was that they ended up paying, or maybe they even paid less than that. I think it was less, right? That they did for him. That it was just like, okay, cool, that's fine. But overall, I forget how, I don't want to say volatile, but how some Mercados can be, where it's just like your head, it'll give you your head will be spinning by the end of it. So we'll see if anything else comes up. But I just don't. I personally, I'm just trying to think of another name as a backup plan besides Scamacca at this point. And like I said,
I agree. I agree. Like for me, it's Vlahovic somehow. I don't know how, but somehow, and it's Scamacca then. But then again, like I said a few minutes ago, things just can change out of nowhere really quickly. So we don't have a clue, or we have no idea about it. Like we don't really know what's going to happen. But yeah. Ehab is saying Alessandro must be sold. He never marks anyone. Yeah, that's true. And today's news was also that Pellegrini is probably going to be more as a starting right. Like he will play more games at left back. And the club will try to sell him. But the problem is he's on 6 million euros. So that's that. And he's free the next summer. So 23. So clubs will think about that. It's not easy to move him on. It isn't. And then Hanin is saying, to be honest, if I was in Vlahovic's shoes, I go to the Premier League. If he wants to be recognized as the best, no one will talk about him if he stays in Italy. Now, I agree with that 100%, but talks are that he wants to stay in Italy. He doesn't want to rush things, and if we get to the top, he will be talked about. If we go back to 2016, we won't be talked about because we were one of the best teams in Europe. We were. Like we made 2 Champions League finals. We didn't win that. I get that. It's about winning, but we were relevant. We were like Pogba and all those players. Like we were a relevant team. So you can be part of that, but the club needs to present them with a decent project, and not with you're coming and maybe we will sell the Ligt, and maybe next season we need to sell Chiesa to reinvest. Like that's not gonna attract any top player.
Yeah, I think my problem is, and I get your comment. I understand your point, Haneen, but the problem is I think a lot of people are so focused on leagues that they forget that like it's really the teams. It's really the big teams and the big names that stick out.
Yeah.
So if you're Juventus and you have Ronaldo, you stick out. PSG, if the rest, look at the rest of the entire French league or whatever, and you just look at that. It doesn't make it's you know who PSG is, you know who all the players are. If they play, you see them, you'll want to watch because of Messi or Donnarumma or whoever have you. I know it's not equivalent when I say that, but also I mean even the Spanish league, it's Barca. Yeah, I know licks them, and then also Real Madrid. Like people, they pay attention to those names, and it's only the Premier League that's really that's gets as much publication as it does. It's so big everywhere. So I'm just I don't know. I don't fully believe that. I think the big teams are the big teams for a reason, and I think these players you can go to any of these teams and become a household name, to be a staple, to become one of the next greats.
Yeah. And Dax is asking about Belotti. What happened with him? Everybody used to talk about it, and was nearly bought for 80 mil. What did he do to become so popular? He was almost like Torino said no to almost 100 mil, and that's still the funniest shit I've ever heard because he's a bang average footballer. Like he had that great season, he still looked as a bang average striker, and it has shown. Like he's a bang average footballer. Period. So it's so funny that Torino said no. I love that it couldn't happen to a better team than Torino to miss out on that money. I'm so happy about Cairo missing out on that money. Good for them. But that's banter. Like that should be going into the freezing cold takes Twitter account. Like they should retweet that thing because Cairo said I'm not even selling him for 100 mil or something, and like close to 100 mil was being offered by Man U at the time.
Yeah, I remember that. That was insane.
And that was insane because like he's not a good footballer. Like he's just okay footballer. Period. Like he's not a top player, not for a top team. So I don't know what happened. His true color showed, I guess.
Did you touch on Morton's question? Yeah, I apologize if I missed it. That do you think there's 100% understanding between Allegri and Arriva Bene and all the usual suspects when it comes to buying players?
Okay,
because that is something that interests me. Just because, and I'll say this and I'll let you take over. But basically, that is something that interests me. I've talked about it so many times on the channel about how it was kind of sold when you bring in Allegri that he has his hands in everything. He kind of has control, if that makes sense. So he can call his shots. So where do you go? Where do you see that?
So they should be having an understanding because they waited to appoint Allegri until everybody was in place. Not officially, but behind the scenes, everybody was in place. So he talked with everybody. So the plan, the project, quote unquote, should be, how do you want to say, known among everyone. Like everybody should be going in the same direction. Otherwise, you don't sign a long-term deal because Juve don't give long-term deals to coaches. They did. So there should be an understanding. And going off what was happening now with Witsel, and then it's not happening because age and all those things, I think they do have an understanding. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to agree on anything because that's not happening at any club. Ever. Because a coach wants... I'm pushing, like, he wants Mbappe, he wants a Pogba, he knows it's not happening, but he wants a player with those, of that profile. And if he's not getting those profile players, then I think there's a big problem. Then it's not going to work. But for now, there's no rumors about frictions and stuff. The only interesting thing is the youth players. Are they going to get more chances? Because that was the rumor when Arriva Bene, like when we changed things up, those were the rumors. Yeah. Also because of the pandemic, the rumors were that youth players, so under 23 players, would have get a chance now moving forward in the next seasons. So let's see if that will happen. like actually getting chances, not just being in the squad for the vibes, just actually getting some playing time. So showcase your talent. If that happens, great. If that doesn't happen over the course of the next year and a half, then I think there's something not right, I would say. But for now, I think it's okay.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. Bones asking me, but my answer to this is always, you know what I am. You know I'm an Italian shill. Yes. Will you take Zaniolo? What's his health situation? Actually, I don't care. I don't care what his health situation is.
Yeah, you should be caring. Because
is he hurting?
He torn his, what's this, ACL twice in the space of 2 years. I think it's
right.
Like, he's very talented. Like, and you saw that the Atalanta game, he was insane. But if you torn something, the same injury twice, like I wouldn't take the risk of spending a big fee and a big wage on it. Like, and
how is he right now though? Has he been playing without issue so far?
No, he had some issues at the start of the season, but he's playing with continuity now. But let's see how he holds up. Like, I hope he holds up. Like, I don't want him to stop playing, but twice the same torn. I think it was an ACL, or was it his knee? I'm not sure about it, but it was the same injury twice, and that's scary for him and for any club who needs to invest in him, to be honest.
Yeah, just to give my answer on it, basically, Zaniolo is one of the two players he's basically my great white buffalo when it comes to the players that are non-Juventus players. That's one player that I fawn over, that I love. When he's playing at his peak, to me, he's as good as anybody, and I would love to. Obviously, I would have loved to see him play for Juventus. Same with, and I know a lot of people hate him, a lot of people, whatever. Mario Balotelli was the same way. I know, but otherwise, yes, yeah. If he was healthy, hell yeah, I'd want to see Zaniolo here.
Wait, Mr. Dax is asking, did you guys believe in Chiesa when the rumors started? So the rumors, I did not, for the simple fact about because of the price tag. It was a lot of money in the last week, so that's why I still have hopes for Vlahovic, because anything can happen. But at the time, I was like, we're not paying that for Chiesa, and we did. So you never know.
My only, the one part that holds me back is I believed in it enough from Chiesa, just because of the history there, that there's been the flirtation before. There was also, he wants to go to Juve kind of situation. Problem when it comes to Vlahovic is, like, he's not Italian, even though he's playing the whatever stuff. They say that he has that interest or whatever in Juventus, but still, it's one of those things where if the money talks and any of these Premier League teams, you can go do the same thing. I don't feel like Juventus is going to be able to do the same kind of business anyway, deals that they've been doing with these other players. I don't know why I'm blanking on words right now. Anyway, but yeah, that's kind of, I'm less hopeful. I'm much less hopeful when it comes to Vlahovic, just because I feel like at some point he could just be like, nah, I'm good. Same as the Locatelli deal, where he could just be like, nah, I'd rather just go somewhere else and make more money, and it's not that hard.
Yeah. So that's why I keep all my hope alive for Vlahovic, because you never know. Like, I don't know, and like, you never know. Maybe if we do sell the Ligt, I don't know. Anything can happen. I don't want it. I don't want to sell the Ligt, but you never know. Hanim Singh Zaniolo would have been my choice for the question. For the question about who would you replace Dybala with if he doesn't sign. Okay, now I get it. Sorry, I was kind of confused.
So right now you're about equal health. So
yeah, it's like, it's still a coin flip. Like, if any of those guys can stay fit long term. So, and he's not the finished article, because I see people talking about Zaniolo. He isn't the finished article, but he can be, because he missed like almost 2 years almost. So it's not easy. But I hope for him he picks it up, because he's when he bursts onto the scene, like, you can see he's just pure talent. It's very good, very good player.
One of the things I just gotta say, just get this off my chest, because it's been bothering me, is I'm looking over here and we have the poll still up here, and it says 73 votes. So we can get 73 votes in the poll, but we can't get 40. We can't get 73 likes.
Yeah,
It's
everybody
a
was just
little frustration.
you want to just get rid of Morata. That's it.
That's what it was. Yeah. Let's
Uh,
take these last two
yeah,
questions, and then I'm gonna have to get out of here if that's all
yeah,
right
yeah,
with you.
yeah, I know.
Unholy Fun said, "Do you guys believe the Super League will happen in the next 3 to 4 years?"
Maybe not in the next 3-4 years, but soon. Yeah,
Mhm.
I do. I do. I do believe that it
Yeah.
will happen soon.
Yeah, I kind of believe it eventually will happen as well. I mean, it's also, again, I know I'm comparing to American situation with like the NCAA here locally. I think it's kind of a similar thing where it's not about if, it's about when. And it's just kind of like it may be dragged out for a bit longer than we're expecting, but I feel like just giving the power and the money that comes along with it and the players that are being involved with it, it'll be a hard thing and a hard temptation, especially coming out of the pandemic situation and where some of these big clubs are used to having much more money than they currently have, Juventus, it's going to be very, very appealing to them.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Mr. Dax says, what was your reaction when we bought Delic for 75 to 85 mil?
I was over the moon. I was over the moon because I wanted him. Maybe at the time it was overpaying, but I was 100% sure that we will make a profit on him, which we will do. Because there is a release clause, even if the club for some reason drop their demands, which would be stupid because there's a release clause for a reason. But I was over the moon because he is one of the best defenders in the world, and at the time he was like 20 years old, and it was insane. And he improved. Yep. We will make money on him back. At the time I knew that, and we will do that. So yeah, I was happy.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Same situation. Last thing Haneen said, yeah, what happened to Awar? Awar just kind of died in the desert. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
He picked it up now, but it will be a cheap signing, but I'm not thinking we're in for him. But I know Justin needs to wrap up. So wait, so this is the last live of 21. Tomorrow there'll be a last video, a daily from Justin, and we will be back with just regular content on the 2nd of January. No, wait, what's Sunday? It's a 2nd. Sunday is a 2nd.
Is it? Yeah. You're right. The 2nd. Yeah, I forgot.
So for me, this is my last video in 21. So yeah, to everybody, thanks for supporting the channel because we started and I never expected to be at almost 2,000 now at this point. I thought we will be doing live and I will be talking to myself or to you or Julian with nobody watching. So thanks everybody for joining and Happy New Year from me already.
Yeah, this is just the beginning for us, and I appreciate each and every one of you, especially all of you that have been here from the beginning, and everybody that comes in, even if you just joined in today. If you're a new subscriber, I appreciate it. Homo Juve or Haneen, Dax, people like that are the ones I remember. Bone, sorry, there's a bunch of y'all that are in the chat right now. But I'm just seeing everybody that's in the most recent chat that I definitely remember. All of you guys from the beginning. I mean, this is still the beginning. It's 6 months in. Yeah. What am I saying? But at the same time, we're just excited to see this grow and to see it really become into something. And hopefully it just continues to grow. And hopefully we can continue to bring you even more content, better things. I hope each of you would have a happy new year with your family, your loved ones, all your stuff. Make sure you're being safe as well doing that. Also, if you guys are in here, just hit the like button. 3 likes. Let's get to 50. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep plugging until I get my 50 likes. But I appreciate you all. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. It's linked in the description down below. I'm at Justin Sofro. He's at Alejandro BZ. And then, of course, I'm at bianconerizone as well. We'll see you guys, I guess. Well, I guess it's not. You'll see me tomorrow. I was going to say next year, but I have a live video tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow, and then I'll give you a better one. But Alejandro, we'll see you next year. Forza Juve.